Fully preventable. This is how to not get a ratchet chick prego. Dr. Umar, what are you doing? So I will come back to this little chart here. This is science backed here, people. All right, this is easy peasy. So the number one way to not get a ratchet pregnant is to not smash. Y'all need to stop smashing these chicks. Y'all need to stop smashing these 4 on 10s. One of the reasons why these chicks are delulu like crazy on these interwebs, getting on IG, acting a fool, getting out here in the public saying that they deserve the top quality, the 5% men, the top 1% men, when these chicks are a dime a dozen, a lot of them. Why they have these huge egos is because y'all are smashing. Y'all need to stop smashing these ratchets. He, on record, has said that this chick turned out to be a ratchet. The reason that he was not in this daughter's life is because the mother turned out to be a woman that was undesirable, according to him. A woman that was not what he had set out for in terms of a wife. She wasn't living up to the wifely aptitudes or the wifely duties. So my thing is this: these chicks, they don't overnight, they don't wake up one morning and become like this. Y'all need to understand, these chicks, they're like this from the jump. They're like this from day one. And this is another thing that makes me laugh about these ratchets that get on IG talking crazy, talking like they deserve the world, because it's like when the old saying of putting lipstick on a pig, right? I don't care how expensive these purses are these chicks got. I don't care how expensive their heels are. I don't care how expensive their dress, their wardrobe, their jewelry, all right? These chicks, they are low class. They are low class. And people that are of a higher class, men in particular, these women, they're looking for high class men. High class men see these women a mile away and they just laugh. They just steer completely clear of these women, because these women don't even realize how they come across, how they come off in public, how they express themselves. These are not high class individuals. I see even a lot of women nowadays on IG talking about how they're dating coaches for women. These are female dating coaches for women, and they're trying to put chicks onto the game on how they're gonna meet one of these wealthy dudes, right? To get their princess treatment. And I'm just thinking, like, you cannot take a chick with a hood mentality who's 25, 35, 45 years old, single mom, whatever. You cannot pluck a woman like that has that software, that has that mindset, and make her desirable to a high value man or to a high status man. These men are sharks. They got to their level from being a shark, from assessing people, and from going for the kill. So you're not gonna pull the wool over the eyes of these men. I've seen these so-called coaches be telling girls to go show up at the World Economic Forum, or to go to Switzerland to World Bank events, to go to Miami to Art Basel events. Like, these high status men, you think you're gonna fool a high status man into wifing you? These men are gonna smash, but it's gonna end there. So anyway, this Dr. Umar situation, Dr. Umar allegedly smashed up a ratchet. And why I say that she was ratchet is because when you see this clout chasing daughter coming on all these talk shows, coming on all these live streams, the way she carries herself, the way she speaks, you can tell that this chick is ratchet. This chick has no decorum. She has no class. This is a low class individual. And again, I say this: high status men will never get involved with these types of women in public. These are the types of women that will embarrass you. And I'm not talking she's going to take the wrong fork during the course that is supposed to have the seafood fork. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just from an expressive standpoint, a standpoint of expression, The way these women carry themselves and express themselves, you know that they're low class. They could be draped up, they could have the Louis bag, they could have the Christian Louboutin heels. These women are not high class. And it is laughable that these women think that they are going to score top men when they acting like this. I'm not going to throw Dr. Umar under the bus, per se. But the one issue I have with this story is, how is it possible that you are, number one, smashing a chick on this low level, and number two, that you are shooting the club up, that you are actually finishing inside this woman, risking it all, risking pregnancy? This to me is insane, because a lot of these men, they pretend like, whoa, it was an accident. I don't know what happened. How did this happen? They act like they just looked at the chick and she got pregnant. Yo, we understand biology out here. I'm about to break it down even deeper, all right? When a chick tells you that it is her cycle week, it's her period, you need to write that on the calendar. You write that on the calendar right away. When you start seeing a new chick and she's like, yo, it's my week, you write that on the calendar. Because when you go into these charts, you go into the menstrual cycles, you go into the ovulation periods, you can see these are the most fertile parts of her month. And I'm not talking about the middle of the month, I'm talking about the middle of her month. So you see here, you got the first week, you got second week, third week, fourth week. A lot of the time, women will use these charts to conceive. They're looking for their most fertile period in order to conceive. But you can use these charts in reverse. Men, this information is out here. I'm not any better than you. I'm not a super genius. I'm showing you the information that is available. You watching this on a cell phone, a mobile device, you watching this on an iPad, you watching this on your computer. You have all the information at your fingertips. You need to make sure that you are properly educated so that you have your life laid out and you don't have these things blow up in your face. There's no reason, number one, that you should be smashing these ratchets, but God forbid you feel the need to smash one of these mongrels. At least know what the heck you're doing. Number one, you pull out. A lot of people like to talk about how, the pull-out method don't work, this and that. I am the proof. The proof is in the pudding. Where my children? I ain't got no children. I ain't got no baby mama, right? Why? Because I pull out. Not only do I pull out, but I got her cycle on the calendar. So I know the green zone. Plus, I'm doubling that up with the pull-out. Yo, I'm not having no issues, because look, it's not worth the 5, 10, 15 minutes of pleasure, right? Because this could blow up and become 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 18 years. At the worst, it could be more than 18 years. This woman is older than 18 years old. So this now is coming to bite him more than 18 years later. Dr. Umar, he is considered a leader of the black community. And how I know that Dr. Umar is potentially a bit towards the lower class, if you will, to the undisciplined lower class, is because he is such a revered leader in the black community. Because if it's one thing I know about the black community, it's that they don't respect high class, good people. Look at the women that are propped up in the black community. Look at the role models that are pushed on women. The role models that are pushed on men in the black community. So, if it's one thing I know about the black community, it's that they have terrible role models.
But Mary, Michelle Obama not attending, and people will notice that.
So I'm not surprised, or I should say I would not be surprised, if Dr. Umar is not such a high echelon, high class individual that he claims to be. And this whole story only points towards that. Another problem I have with Dr. Umar is he does not hold women accountable. And this is one of the main reasons behind his great success, is because he likes to coddle women. He likes to coddle men. He does not put his foot down. He likes to rock everybody to sleep and tell them that, a lot of their issues are to blame on the white man or this man or that community, and everybody has it out to get you, this victim, blaming victim, pointing the finger. Yo, these women out here is wild. I'ma call a spade a spade. The women in the black community are not stars. They are not acting in a civilized, high-class manner for the most part. Of course you have some classy women. Of course you have some classy men. Of course you have black men and women that are above and beyond. But for the most part, the majority of women is out here acting a fool. And when he goes on record trying to encourage young black men to turn a blind eye to these single mothers, this is out of control. A lot of these women have made their bed and they're lying in it. You can't just coddle these women and paint them like they are victims in these situations, when a lot of the time we see how these women interact with others. We see their attitude. We see the masculine traits coming out of these women. We see the lack of respect that they have for their men in the community. I see how these people talk to men online. These women have no respect. They have no decorum. They have no class. And if you don't believe me, just listen to this woman who claims to be his daughter. And this woman, who was raised by the woman that Dr. Umar claims was low class and not up to his standards, this doesn't surprise me, because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And her mother, being the tree in this situation, is clearly low class, because she grew up in that environment. That was her environment. That's what shaped her. So you're not going to get a low class, ratchet, loud, argumentative, aggressive, combative woman coming from a sweet, nice, classy black lady. So don't even try coming in my comment section, and because I had these issues before with women coming in and being like, oh, not all. Oh, not all. Well, I'm not talking about the not alls. I'm talking about the ones that I'm talking about. I'm talking about specific individuals. When I'm talking about people from the hood that are acting ratchet, that's who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the good ones that are going to college. I'm not talking about the good ones in Howard University that are making something of themselves. I'm not talking about the business owners. I'm not talking about the upper class individuals. I'm talking about these ratchet people that we see day in, day out acting a fool.
They might fight me. I can feel it.